Hello, it's Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. We are on Google Podcast and Spotify, and hold on, I gotta check my iHeartRadio status right now. I can't check that right now, never mind. Alright. So, again, back to Harden and the Nets. I just don't like this. One, they have two divas on the team. Harden begged his way out of his team, and Kyrie ran from leadership. KD, he's kind of a different story. He was getting tired of getting close and then losing, so he went to the Warriors. I understand that. I'm kind of empathetic towards him for that. But, I didn't like it. Obviously, I was against it, but, I don't think it's gonna be good. And other than, not only, like I was saying, not only did they get people that aren't gonna win them a championship, but they gave away role players that are very vital to teams. Very. And although it's stacked with great ball players, I don't think it's gonna... I mean, when Harden's in shape, we'll see where it goes, but he ain't in shape right now. And, the difference between LeBron and KD is... LeBron and Steph, people like LeBron and Steph, are franchise players and leaders. KD, yes, he was the best player on the Warriors, but Steph was the leader. Steph was the leader of that team. I know I used to hate on Steph because he beat the Cavs a lot. I said some things I didn't mean. No, I'm kidding. But, I mean, he's a good player. He's a great leader. He was the guy leading the Golden State Warriors when KD was there, but I thought on the Nets when Kyrie and KD joined, I didn't think either of them would be the leader of the team. Kyrie and KD were the best players when they went, but the leader was going to be like a Spencer Dinwiddie or something. So KD's not a leader. He wasn't the leader on the Warriors. He couldn't make it work with Kyrie for 3 weeks. He couldn't get over the hump with Westbrook. The only time he ever went over the hump was in Golden State with a future Hall of Famer point guard, one of the best three-point shooters ever, Klay Thompson, and at the time, the Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. So KD's very talented. Very talented. But he never won a championship without playing with two or more All-Stars. I just heard that come out of my mouth, and that sounded really dumb. Alright, when I meant, he hasn't won a championship as the leader, the main guy who brought everyone together and kind of led them to that championship. LeBron, LeBron plays chess. He has everything thought out. I think he was setting the AD trade in motion 2 years before it actually happened. Once he joined LA, he was AD's a perfect teammate. Because LeBron, I know, he doesn't like playing interior defense. Davis is one of the best shot blockers in the NBA and probably of all time once he retires. LeBron hasn't... Because LeBron's getting old. For an NBA player, he's getting old. He doesn't like playing defense as much as he used to when he was younger. So, getting Davis, a great defensive player... I thought he should have won Defensive Player of the Year over Giannis, but it was definitely close. It was a tough one. So it makes sense why LeBron thought, hey, AD is a perfect teammate. Great interior defender. I don't like doing that. Great defender overall. I am not doing that as much. And the guy can score and rebound, which adds to my what I can do, which is rebound, score, and pass. So he had planned that out before. That was a great way. And I know LeBron hasn't won a championship without 2 All-Stars, but neither did Jordan, neither did Kobe, neither did Magic, neither did Larry Bird. Capiche? Alright. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I just don't like the feel of this. I think one of them leaves this year. Because I think, Kyrie and Katie signed a new one. There's going to be a trade request at some point. There's going to be drama. Too much drama for my liking, honestly. So, the Jags are in advanced talks with Urban Meyer, so unless something crazy happens, they should hire him. He's putting his staff together and everything, so I don't know what... There's got to be like a big miscommunication for it not to happen. But this is a great job for him. There are coaches who play checkers and just take jobs because they're open, and because there are desperate teams who call like the Panthers were desperate. They called Matt Rule. He just took it. He didn't really think about, there's all this development that has to be done here. I think he was kind of playing checkers there, but he can make it happen. He can make that work. Although they're probably going to lose Joe Brady to the Jets or the Eagles, I think. Probably the Eagles. Like I said, that was a wild card guess. Brady's a good coach, though. So losing him would be a pretty big loss. So there's kind of a, it kind of had a checkers feel to it. And there are coaches who play chess and wait for the best fit, like Urban Meyer. This job is great. He gets Lawrence. He gets a young team. He's in a college football town. And he watches players, and he's a great recruit guy, too. Like, he's recruited some of the best players to Ohio State. And obviously, and also, another thing that makes this job great for him, it's the perfect entry point, because as a coach, do you want to follow in Mike Krzyzewski's footsteps in Duke? I wouldn't. That's a lot of pressure. Alright, let's follow up this guy's status of a literal GOAT. Do you want to follow Saban's footsteps? Or in Belichick's footsteps? Unless Belichick has a couple more bad years with Pats, his legacy is secure. He's following Doug Marrone, who got them to 1 playoff and 1 AFC championship. That's easy for him. I think that's easy for him to follow up. So great entry point, and a great team for him overall. So I think that's a great job. I think he waited. I think that's well thought out on his part. So this is a question that I heard that I saw Colin Cowherd ask. And the question makes sense, but I think I know why. I think I know why the answer to this question normally doesn't make sense. Why is Saban not getting interviews for NFL jobs? And Cowherd was right. Just because he's old, it means nothing. Krzyzewski is 73, Popovich is 76, Belichick is 69. And so is Pete Carroll. And Saban looks great right now. He's running around like a young guy. So, and no, he wasn't a disaster in Miami. He took a 4-12 team to a 9-7 team, and then he was told that he can't have Drew Brees when he won. But I think I know why they're not interviewing him. It's because if I were an NFL team, I would doubt that Nick Saban wants to leave Alabama for another NFL job after what happened in Miami. Or, after, leaving Miami, after, a year. Alright. Alright, so time to cover some recent news here. All right. So AD is looking forward to Harden on the Nets. Here's what I don't like about the Nets. Kyrie didn't like being a 2. And now he's a 3. Kyrie is a verbal and in control kind of guy. It's just like a weird chemistry thing for me that I don't like. The chemistry is just terrible. I feel like it would be terrible. I do know that they made a finals. Harden and Durant made a finals together. But that was when Harden was a 6-man and not as ball hungry as he is now. Ball dominant, you know? So it's a lot different. We'll see how it works. It might. But Bosch, Wade, and LeBron are highly functional. Like, Bosch became a spot-up shooter just so they can win games, and so him, LeBron, and Wade can function together. Like, so, one of those three, Harden, Kyrie, or KD, are going to have to accept a smaller role. We'll see what happens. And I just feel like KD is the 1A there. He's the alpha and the best player. Alright. So Mayfield has no problem because him and Watkins exchanged some trash talk there over on Twitter. I don't know about what's going to happen with this Browns-Chiefs game. I mean, Mahomes has no problem playing from behind. We know that. 3 games last year, 10-plus points down, came back. But people have to realize the Browns won 11 games. They won 11 games. I didn't even realize that either. Like, I kind of forgot about that. They won 11 games. That's a lot. And the Chiefs, the line, the betting line, and I'm not a bettor, but I know it's crazy. Favored by 10. Because they haven't won by 10 since the Jets in Week 8. I think it was Week 8. I don't care anymore. I mean, they haven't won by 10 since then. Now, the Chiefs are going to win, but I just don't know if they're going to win by that much. I think that's a bit of a stretch. And there's no COVID issue on the Browns side either. So there's no COVID issue. They got their coach. There's a chance for an upset here. So the Ravens defensive coordinator has a big comparison for Allen. He says Allen is a young Roethlisberger with Marino's arm. Let's just say Allen's really good. Alright. Belichick always does this. You know, he always finds a comparison, even if they're playing a bad team. And Allen does have a Big Ben feel to him. Like, he's a big guy, makes those downfield throws. I mean, I can't wait for the Bills-Ravens game. That's going to be great. That's my game of the week right there. I think the Bills win by a score of like 30-27 about. It's going to be a good. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be good. I can't wait for that. Alright. So, let's try to... on that topic there. Let's talk about how the Browns can beat the Chiefs here. I feel like with this favor right here, Mahomes is kind of getting a LeBron treatment to him. Like, LeBron and Mahomes might not be the best regular season players, but they're phenomenal in the playoffs, always. Like, they always make magic happen in the playoffs. LeBron always does that. Always shows up. And there's always an upset in the divisional round, so let's not count the Browns out in this one. The Raiders were 11-point underdogs and beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. And now, I don't know if we should read too much into that, because every team suffers an upset. You know, the Packers lost to the Vikings.